Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Pokemon. I have some very interesting opinions in this video. I don't know if it's going to get me a lot of, I don't know. I don't know what the reception's going to be to these opinions, but I just want to talk about Pokemon. And kind of my opinions. As you can hear, the great music in the background, the Ultra Wormhole music. Man, I love it. Yeah. So I just want to kind of talk about, like, I don't know. For me, Pokemon is starting to fall off. Like, it's starting to just not become as fun as it once was. I'm gonna go in order, kind of. Take Pokemon Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, for example. I'm gonna class them in the same thing. You had the whole, like, looks great on the 3DS. Like, crazy. You have the whole, you know, Solgaleo, Lunala stuff, the whole Necrozma. Well, Necrozma wasn't really a part of the plot properly in Sun and Moon normal, but Ultra Sun and Moon, Necrozma was very much part of the plot. And I mean, like, Necrozma's design is so cool as well, and the Ultra Beast as well. Nihilego, the Aether Foundation, you know, you had all of this stuff going on, and Necrozma stealing all the energy and the light from Alola. There was so much going on, and it was such a good story for a Pokemon game. Phenomenal story. And of course, like, it was quite, honestly, a little dark. I mean, not crazy dark, but like, man, the whole Aether Foundation thing as well, it was just like, my lord, Necrozma stealing all the light and everything was just, whoa. And to top it all off, the Z moves were fun. You know, the everything, like the Z moves, you got the Pokemon. I love all of the Pokemon designs and stuff. The gameplay, so fun. Even Mega Evolutions were there. Like, there was just so much. Team Rainbow Rocket afterwards, after the main story, man, you got all the past villains coming back. Like, bro. For a first region to a Pokemon games, phenomenal, right? Probably the best one I could have started with. Well, that's from my perspective, being it is the one I started with, the original Sun and Moon, and then onto Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. You get my point. Absolutely loved it. Wormhole, everything. Loved those sets of games. Moving on to Sword and Shield on the Switch, I mean, Sword and Shield was alright, you know? It took me a little bit to actually get to Sword and Shield and actually want to go play it, but, you know, Sword and Shield was pretty enjoyable, right? I enjoyed Sword and Shield. It was alright. It wasn't as good as Gen 7. Story definitely wasn't as good. Gen 7 story is pretty difficult to beat in the first place, since they went all out with that. But Gen 8, you know, Sword and Shield, it was nice, you know, based in the UK as far as I know. I enjoyed Sword and Shield, it was quite fun. Nice, you had the raids as well, which were interesting addition. Dynamax, god, the Dynamax. Yeah, I'd like a serving of no eardrums, please. Dynamax was so loud, I swear to god, if you were wearing headphones, you might as well be deaf by the time you're like 30, if you weren't already 30 beforehand. Like, Jesus, it's so loud, you literally have no eardrums. I get you want to make the emphasis of it being big, but Jesus Christ. I think also this was the first Pokemon game I actually got a shiny charm in, and the only one I ever did, because I can't be bothered to do shiny hunting. It's so tedious. I'm not even kidding. I don't know why people put themselves through shiny hunting, because it's such a tedious task to do. At least for me. But yeah, I mean, you had Galarian forms as well. I mean, Alola had Alolan forms, which I really like. Oh my god, Alolan Raichu? Man. But yeah, I mean, Galarian forms are pretty good too. Like, I think Sword and Shield all around, enjoyable game. I enjoyed it pretty much. I thought it wasn't as good as, you know, thingy, Sun and Moon, but I enjoyed Sword and Shield enough. Yeah, it was a pretty good game. Didn't have all the Pokemon, but it was good. I like Sword and Shield. Characters, everything nice. And then came the games afterwards. Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu came before Sword and Shield. I get that. They came before Sword and Shield. And okay, you know, for what I played, it was alright. But when they've already done Kanto before, I think my main issue with this was more so the fact of they had the forced Pokemon catching to progress, like, actually through the story. That was my main issue with it. The game itself was okay. Like, I didn't like it as much as the other two. It had some neat ideas, but it really was... Yeah, it's mainly the forced Pokemon catching. I really hated that, because I just want to play the game I want to play the way I do. And especially because I don't really like all of the Kanto Pokemon. I don't want to catch all of them to play through the story. But that's just me. I just get the ones I like. But, I mean, apart from that, from actual game standpoint, it was still pretty good. Like, it was still a good game. But, yeah. With the next two, it starts to get a little it starts to get a little bit, is it as good as them, you know? This is probably, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond is probably one of the most boring Pokemon games I have ever played. I am not kidding. I don't know what happened. It was alright, like, I got through it, but it dragged on for way too long. Like, it was okay, but the game dragged on for way too long. I don't know what it was, but like, I should not feel bored when I'm playing a Pokemon game, I don't think. But in Brilliant Diamond, I was feeling bored towards, like, just after the halfway point. Like, 5th, 6th gym, I was starting to feel bored of playing the game. Which, in a Pokemon game, you do not want. It dragged on way too long. And okay, it's nice to go through the Sinnoh region. And it's, you know, nice to see all these Pokemon, you know, experience, you know, Sinnoh for the first time properly, right? At least for me, right? Because I didn't play the DS games. But yeah, there was something about Brilliant Diamond that just wasn't fun to play. And I don't know what it was. But this game is where the start of, like, my, I guess, like for a bunch of Pokemon as a whole for the games was starting to wane. Like, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond was kind of just like a, yeah, don't really like this one all that much. I don't think I'd ever play through Brilliant Diamond again. I'll be honest. I really don't, because it was quite boring to play when you got a certain part in. But yeah, I mean, my main complaint with that it was boring to play, pretty much, and it overstayed its welcome. And moving on to the last game I'll be talking about Pokemon-wise, Scarlet and Violet. Who could have seen that coming? Now, yeah, again, As with the other ones, I enjoyed my time with Scarlet and Violet, for the most part. However, it did have bugs and glitches here and there. I think my main issue with Scarlet and Violet was more so the... I don't know. Like, I go, like, from Generation 8, going back to Gen 8 for a sec. Well, we're on the Scarlet Violet section anyway. The evil team was not that evil. It was just supporters. The evil guy was Chairman Rose, where I don't even think he was supposed to be evil. He just all of a sudden decided, oh yeah, let's try and prevent this thing that's gonna happen in like 1,000 years anyway. With Eternitus, I'm just like, what the... Point aside. Gen 7. Guzma, you know, Team Skull felt like a proper evil team. Aether Foundation felt like a proper evil team. Hell, Ultra Necrozma felt proper evil. Gen 9, what do we get? A bunch of... what? Bullied rejects? Or a bunch of bullies? Literally a bunch of bullies? That's it? Like, are you for real? How did we go from world-ending Pokemon and, you know, genuinely groups of evil people to bullies in a school? What happened? What actually happened, Pokemon? Like, Team Star, are you for real? Okay, nice designs, but like, really? I don't know, man. Generation 8's plot was okay, I suppose. I mean, Generation 9's plot was just like, what is even going on anymore? Like, I don't know, man. I enjoy Pokemon still, but like... my interest is going down. Slowly but surely. And, you know, Pokemon is definitely not what it once was. Comparing the Switch games to the 3DS games, or at least Sun and Moon even, just Sun and Moon, the evil teams don't feel evil anymore. They just feel like a bunch of either bullies or just not even evil people at all. And the villains, you know, they're not as crazy anymore. I mean, Rose was something, but like, it's not. It's just not. And Gen 9 was just like... I don't even know. The worst part is, right, Generation 9, the Scarlet and Violet, I can't even remember if there was an evil force. Genuinely. I can't... that was the worst part. I can't even remember if there was an actual evil force in Generation 9. That's how bad it is. With the lack of evil. Okay, it's a Pokemon game. You don't really need to, like, show any evil, but I mean, like, the other games all had evil teams in it. This game, Scarlet and Violet, I feel like didn't have any of that. I don't know, man. It's just... I think Pokemon is just not what it once was. It's still fun, and it's still, you know, decent games. I mean, Scarlet and Violet, the buggiest glitches when it came out, was hilarious. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, the fact Scarlet and Violet did Blueberry Academy DLC I found quite tedious, actually, as well. Like, I don't know, man. Pokemon like designs and stuff like that, always really good, but I don't know. I think the story and I just think the story is just not at all what it once was. It's just not there. I know I'm gonna end up comparing like every single Pokemon game that comes out now to Gen 7, but Gen 7 was something special. I feel like we've fallen quite a bit since then. Like Terrestrialize is interesting, but I'll be honest, it's not as cool as Z-moves or Mega Evolution, or hell, even Dynamax was cooler. Like, Terrestrialize is probably one of the least cool mechanics that they could have added since, you know, they added the gimmicks. Like, I don't know, man. Pokemon is just not hitting the same anymore, I think. But yeah, I suppose it's more of a rant video about Pokemon, if anything, and how it's just not as good as it once was. But yeah, I think my rant's pretty much done. I've covered pretty much everything I wanted to say. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for the next video, or in the stream tonight. Bye bye everyone! Bye 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 bye!